Hi, thank you for joining me again for this small live event. Today I will talk about those codes you get when you send messages through Maximum Mailer. When you open the application Maximum Mailer, you know there is several tab panels, and the last one on the right called Delivery shows a full sequence, all the comments and all the responses from the server. When Max Mailer sends messages, he sends comments, and the server will respond to each of those comments with those codes and a little description of each code. Most of those codes are just informational, or just to say it's okay, you can continue. But sometimes there are codes that are errors, and it is quite helpful to know what is the meaning of those codes in order to troubleshoot little issues yourself. So I have created a little video that explains in detail what you can expect when you send a message with Maxmailer, what you can expect regarding those codes. So let's see this small video. When you send a message with Maxmailer, you can always see what is happening through Maxmailer and the server looking at the delivery panel. It is this panel here. In this panel, you will see all the sequence of commands or requests Maxmailer is sending to the server, and you will see all the server responses. For example, let's create a test message here, a test subject with some test body. We select a sample recipient, for example myself, and we'll select some settings. For example, here we can use my default server, and we are going to see what happened when I click on the send button. So we click on send anyway. So here you can see that Maxmailer has been first connected to the server. It's opened a connection with the server. You can see here the server address. Then as soon as Maxmailer gets connected, you can see the word connected, and then Maxmailer starts with the connection. So the first command Maxmailer will send is the hello command. All hello commands start with a higher sign here. Then the server will respond to each command with codes. In this case, a 220 code is returned to Maxmailer. This is, in this case, informative code, just to say the server is here and is listening. This is the first thing you should see when you connect to a server. The server should respond. The server should respond to the first command Maxmailer send. Worst, if you don't get Maxmailer sending any command at all, it is because there is no connection established. First, a connection should be established to a given port. Then it's when Maxmailer sends the first hello command you can see here. Then the server responds with an informative message, and it is when the server Maxmailer is starting then with all the authentication process. You can see here we have selected in the setting the login scheme for authentication. So Maxmailer is sending the appropriate commands. The first command, the second with the name of the user ID, the second command with the password, and then the response. In this case, we get a 235 response that says authentication successful. This is because we have passed the authentication. That is, we have sent the right user ID and the right password. So the server has accepted, has granted us the access to the server. So now we can start sending email. It is when you can see the next command here. It is a mail from. It is Max Miller sending to the server who is what is the sender email address. Then the server responds, okay, 250. It's okay. The sender address is okay. Then we send a RCPT2. It is the recipient address in this case. Okay, those 250 again. The server responds, it is okay. The recipient address is okay. Then you send the message. The command for sending message is data. You send Maximum send a data command, and then it sends the right after the 354 code that is please send me the message. Maximum sends the message. Okay, then once the message has been properly sent, you get again a 250 code, and then Maximum can quit, because in this case we are only sending one single message. This is here a successful delivery. So there is here no errors. We have informational codes, and we have a success code like 354, 250. Everything is correct. In this case, we can see that Max Miller has also sent the delivery report. The delivery is here. We can see everything is correct. We have selected once only recipient. That recipient was sent properly with no error. So it is correct. Now we will introduce an error. So we are going to delete the text here of the connection log, and we are going to introduce an error. For example, we are going to create a false password, an invalid password, to see what happens. Now we are going to send again the message. We are going to reset the list, so the email is again in unsent status. Okay, now we send the message again, send anyway, and now we are going to get an error here. Okay, you can see an authentication error occurred while communicating with the server. Check account setting and try again. Max Miller always try to read the error messages and try to show to you something you can read easily, so you can understand what's happening. So here he say in the command, the server has rejected your login because either your account ID or password is invalid or your account is inactive. See the server connection for details. Okay, here you can see, if you go a bit on the top of the connection log, you see again everything was correct. The server was able to connect. It was Max Miller was able to connect to the server. The server responds with a 2020 connection successful after the hello command. Then we try to do the authentication. So we send the first user ID. Okay, we get an okay response. Then we send the password, but we get an error. In this case, 535 error. Error is authentication failed. So it is clear here that either the user ID or the password is wrong, and as a result, the server responds with an error, and Max Miller interpret that error and show you something you can understand, something easier to read that the connection log. Now, if you instead of having a problem here with the data, imagine you are using the wrong port. For example, I don't know, but in that case, maybe if you put port 45, it is not a port for SMTP, and you try to connect again. We are going to delete the delivery log. If you try to connect with the wrong port, in this case, it is responding because this port is unloaded. Okay, I don't know right now what port I should use. Maybe this port. Let's see. Send anyway. Okay. That server is able to respond to a lot of servers. So look at what we can do here is to use, for example, another server, for example, Gmail, and plus, for example, SSL deactivated, and maybe port 45 there. Let's see if this way we can get a connection error. Send anyway. Okay, now we can see Gmail. We are trying to connect to Gmail on port 465, and there is nothing listening at that port. So the server is trying, the Maxprog is trying to connect. It is waiting a bit until we get a timeout, and the connection to the server is closed because actually no real connection has been done between the server port and Maxprog mailer. So this is an unsuccessful connection because of a port error. Here we are using a port that is not correct. So as you have seen, you get also an error. Here you get also an error for you to understand what's happening. So we get we have to wait for a timeout, and we get an error. Your message has not been delivered to the receiver since no more connection when expected closed by the recipient server. Okay. Hope you like this video, and it will help for your next Maxprog connections. Have a good day.
Okay, I hope you like this little explanation. As you have seen, if a server doesn't respond at all, it is because you have a problem with the settings. The server, maybe the port, or most of the time the SSL. You are using the wrong settings. The server always have to respond. Maxprog Mailer will initiate a connection, and the server should respond with something. If the server doesn't respond, you later get a timeout, and you will not get any SMTP response code because there is no SMTP connection. Okay, that's it. On maxprog.com, if you go to the news link on the top, you will see an article that is called How to Understand the SMTP Server Response Codes. In that page, you will see an explanation of all I have said today, both live event and on the video. There is a little picture showing the sequence of command, how Maxprog Mailer sends commands, and how the server is responding with codes. I suggest you to read this page. It is really interesting. So thank you for watching, and see you in next video. Bye.